Generally speaking, I'm a one MOBA kind of man. I usually play plenty of Dota 2, while I occasionally dabble in League of Legends. Sometimes I'll pop into a round of Awesomenauts, and I had the opportunity to at least try Dawngate before it shut down. I usually just stick to Dota. The reason for this is because most MOBAs require lots and lots of dedication in order to learn them. Compared to the FPS, in which you usually just have to learn a single skill set that can transfer between games quite easily, MOBAs are a fair amount different. A MOBA calls for lots and lots of dedication. In spite of their complexity, MOBAs have managed to explode in popularity. At the time of this video's creation, Dota 2, on Valve's Steam service, is their most played game. Right now, Dota 2 is my most played game. However, a challenger has appeared and threatens to change that. Heroes of the Storm by Activision Blizzard went into closed beta testing on January 13th, 2015. It's Blizzard's take on the incredibly profitable MOBA genre. It is a bit funny that it's taken them this long to jump on the opportunity to create a MOBA. MOBAs, you see, were born out of a mod for Warcraft 3, which gave birth to the original Defense of the Ancients, but that's a video for another day. What you need to know now is that Heroes of the Storm is currently in development, and it's looking very good. Heroes of the Storm combines characters from Blizzard's various games. Warcraft, Starcraft, and Diablo are all represented here. Each character has a unique set of abilities and is classed accordingly. Much like other MOBAs, Heroes of the Storm pits two teams of 5 players against one another. Each team must destroy the other team's core, or if you're a Dota player, the Ancient. Placed along the map at intervals are structures called forts. Each fort is protected by a gate, sandwiched in between a pair of towers. If you want to get in past the gate, you have to knock it down in order to get inside the fort and eliminate the castle, or barracks, that's within. Interestingly enough, in Heroes of the Storm, it is possible for your towers to actually run out of ammo. They become vulnerable and will stop firing on the minions or creeps that run between lanes. Thus, it's very important to keep an eye on your towers. If they run out of ammo, you're going to have to defend them extra carefully. Each map in the game, or each battleground, has a different theme. Those different themes come with unique objectives. For instance, my favorite map thus far is called the Garden of Terror, and everything seems normal during the daytime. During the nighttime, however, the jungle is filled with evil plant monsters. When you fight these, they drop seeds. Once your team has collected 100 seeds, in a flower pot at your base, the Garden Terror begins to grow. This Garden Terror is essentially a giant organic mecha suit. It's 100% sustainable, locally grown, and will wreak havoc on the enemy base. All you have to do is head to your base, put it on,
there, your terror has come to life,
and enjoy. Of course, there's a balance to be struck. The enemy team just might be in the jungle collecting their 100 seeds as well. If you don't notice them in the lanes, you could spend some of the precious nighttime when the plants are out trying to find them. It might be possible to disrupt them and prevent them from gaining a Garden Terror. Or you could lead a heroic push down one of their lanes while they're busy collecting seeds. Whatever you decide to do, you'll have to do it with your team. Heroes of the Storm is very cooperatively oriented. All of the heroes level up together instead of individually. As a Dota 2 player, I was so used to trying to get the last hit on creeps, or as Heroes of the Storm calls them, minions. But in this game, there is no last hitting. In fact, in Heroes of the Storm, there isn't any gold because there's no item shop. It might seem like an unusual design choice for a MOBA, however, Heroes of the Storm works it very well. As a team collectively gains experience points and levels up together, each hero levels up certain abilities. These abilities diverge, and you have different choices to make regarding each of them. For instance, Jim Raynor has a pair of optional ultimate abilities. He can either summon the Hyperion, and as his ultimate ability rain down death from above, or he can summon a pair of Raiders, land-based vehicles, that will chase down an individual enemy. Each optional ability has its own advantages and disadvantages. You have to choose wisely based on the way that the game is going for you and for your team.
Focus upon this hero.
This should be
It's
good.
over for now, but don't get too comfortable. The infested will return again.
I really like the way that Heroes of the Storm shifts focus away from individual players and onto the team. Now, as a Dota player, I'm going to make a controversial confession. I hate the jungle in Dota 2. Hate it. The reason for this is because I feel like the jungle in Dota 2 really pulls players out of the game. You see, in case you're unfamiliar with MOBAs, The jungle in Dota 2 is this area with lots of trees where players can head to fight various monsters for experience points and gold. It's nice to have a player who's a little bit extra leveled up and has some fancy items thanks to jungling, but it doesn't really feel like a team activity. Of course, this is just my personal opinion on the jungle in Dota 2. That said, Heroes of the Storm really shakes things up with its version of a jungle. You see, in Heroes of the Storm, there are what are called mercenary camps. Now, these mercenary camps contain monsters, just like the camps in Dota 2. What Heroes of the Storm does differently, however, is that in order to earn these mercenaries, you have to fight them, and once you've fought them, they will enter your lane, and they'll begin to fight alongside your minions. When a player who's in my lane vanishes into the jungle, I can know that it means that help is coming, not he's going to disappear and just might pop in later to secure a kill for himself. As mentioned earlier, each map in Heroes of the Storm has a different objective. This is really where Heroes of the Storm shakes things up. Unlike other MOBAs, which will occasionally have special events in which you do certain things, in Heroes of the Storm, an event happens every few minutes within a map. While it is possible to win around the traditional way, that is, running down lanes and fighting minions and destroying towers, it's going to be an uphill battle unless you work as a team to secure the objective of the map. All these mechanics in Heroes of the Storm, from the objective-oriented maps to the more cooperative jungle, seem to pull the game together in order to prevent snowballing. Now, in case you're unfamiliar with the term, snowballing is what happens when one team gains so many advantages that it's powerful beyond control. And if you've ever played a MOBA, you probably know how fun it is when snowballing happens. Often, it's due to a single player on a team making a few consecutive mistakes. This leads to that player being a few levels behind, and depending on the role, this is either a big problem or a really big problem. A little feature that I really appreciated in Heroes of the Storm was the minimap. When you set off in a direction or another, a blue line appears on the minimap, and it indicates to your teammates where you're heading. It's a very simple feature, but it provides a lot of valuable information. Another interesting feature of Heroes of the Storm is that you pick your hero before the match begins. Thus, there's no counterpicking. If your hero puts you at a statistical disadvantage, you're going to have to be very careful about the way that you play. While we're on the topic of picking heroes, you should know that while Heroes of the Storm is free to play, it boasts a hero rotation model like that of League of Legends. You can either purchase heroes for permanent use, or you can play whatever the free heroes of the week are. As you play rounds of Heroes of the Storm, you earn gold coins. You can use these coins in order to purchase heroes, or you can purchase them with real-world money. Heroes of the Storm is 5 Commandments friendly. In case you're not familiar with them, check out my video on the 5 Commandments of free-to-play games. The more you play as a certain hero, the more that hero levels up. When this happens, you have more options for perks to choose during a match. On the whole, I really like Heroes of the Storm thus far. I'm a big fan of the way that it handles being a team-based game. It doesn't feel as though there's a competition between players on a team in order to rack up kills or get last hits on minions. Instead, everybody really has something to contribute to the team. The way that Heroes of the Storm is designed in order to keep everybody active, rather than having some players fall out to head to the jungle or do some other menial task, is fantastic. Or, perhaps I should say, fantastic. Sorry, I'm not going to try for any more puns in this video, but you get the idea. Right now, you can play Heroes of the Storm on both Windows-based PCs and on Mac OS X. So, what do you think of Heroes of the Storm? Is it enough to tempt you away from Dota? Or are you just going to stick to your favorite MOBA? Or perhaps you're already playing lots of Heroes of the Storm and you think I missed something important. Well, whatever the case, hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Jordan_Cameron, and let me know your thoughts. Be sure to follow at Blackman and Robin for all the latest game news, previews, reviews, interviews, and more.